Hi, I'm Christian. I'm 19, and if you don't know about a little bit about me and this channel, um, I work in online business. And this month, I hit my record month. I hit 5K, and this video is basically just gonna be me talking about my journey so far, my feelings behind it. Actually hitting that pedestal so far, or hitting that milestone, I should say, and why I've got really mixed feelings about where I am and where I want to get to, in terms of gratuity, in terms of actual aspirations. But to start off, I kind of want to go back 6 months from today. 6 months ago today, I came back home for Christmas to London because I go to university in Scotland. And I came home for the Christmas holidays, zero money in my bank account. My health was at an all-time low. I was extremely sad about my ex because I was in contemplation whether I should see her or not. And in all honesty, I'd say it was probably one of my lowest points so far in my life because I just felt like nothing was going right for me. And today is the 29th of June. And I recorded a video on the December the 31st. And I don't know if I wanted to share it this early on in my journey, but it's been 6 months essentially. It's been half a year. And in that video, I talked about how I had 2 pence in my bank account. I won't pull up the screenshot just yet, but I had 2 pence in all my bank accounts combined. I'd only worked one day that week for one of my cousins. I earned 90 and hadn't even come through yet. So at that moment in time, I had 1p in my bank account. And I was talking about how I was feeling very sad in terms of, my ex. I didn't think I was going to get over her anytime soon. I'd lost my abs, the one thing I felt like all my life I actually had to show. And I had extremely massive bags under my eyes. And the thing is, right, at that time, I knew that it was rock bottom, essentially. I knew that in terms of my money, I'd been doing it for about a month and a half, and I was seeing no progress. I was working with, let's just say, some African clients who didn't want to pay me, and I was closing deals, and I was doing the emails, I was doing their copy, and I wasn't getting paid for it. And obviously, like, this was trench work. This was, the trench work you have to go for in online money a little bit. And I was working, let's say, I don't know, 6-7 hours a day on these like email campaigns, these welcome sequences, because I was still new to everything. I didn't know how to, properly leverage my time. I didn't know what to implement, and yeah, I remember at that point I was feeling very low. About a month after that, when I actually got back to university, or just before I got back to university, I had a call from Seb, one of my friends, and he let me know that that the guy he's working with, or his mentor in appointment setting, is looking for a copywriter. I don't really want to get into all of that because, it's a very long story as to how I've progressed into my journey so far. We'll save that for another video. But it's essentially June, and since that time, I've doubled the amount of money I've been making every month. I've 2x my income every month, and I finished last month on around 2.2. This month I finished on, as of this current moment, it's the 29th of June, sorry. And I'm on 5.1k USD. In a way, I'm very, very happy in terms of my life before that. I was not able to even eat the food I wanted to because I didn't have the money. I was choosing not to go out, with my friends at university, and my social, connections were decreasing as a result. Because I couldn't afford to go out. I couldn't afford to, eat the meals I wanted to. I think I had like beef, rice, and broccoli for every meal straight, right, for like months on end. Even when I was making money, I was still eating that because like I was so used to it at that point. And I think my lowest point was when I was at university, and I had £20 left, I think, for 1.5 months, and this was in November. And the whole reason I got into online money was because, I didn't have the money. I needed a distraction from my ex, essentially, a little bit as well. I reached a really low point of that, and I started gambling to try make money to eat. And I'm not doing this in terms of, I come from a really poor background at all. It's just my parents provided me for so much. In my head, I was embarrassed. I'd spent like my allowance. I was thinking like, I'm not working. I can't find any jobs. I was sending my CV to places in St Andrews, and if you don't know, it's a very small town, and there's 10,000 students. So the possibility of actually getting a job there it's very low, especially if it's like a decent job. But I think I applied to like 15 cafes, and I got back from two, and they were like, "We're not looking to hire anyone right now." But anyway, I was essentially trying to find like a doubling method on roulette. So I was putting down 50p, and I was trying to double my money each time. And then when I hit like £2.50, I'd go back to 50p. It's essentially like a little like doubling method. I tried to make like 50p each time. It was my lowest point so far. Maybe in my life, I don't know. Like I remember when I made like £10, and I could go like and decide I could go out that day, or I could have my weekly shop. And to think where I am now, where I'm in Montenegro with people making like 40 to 50k a month, and two of my closest friends, and now one of my other close friends, Val, who who I work with, but has actually just shown me so much and helped me so much throughout all of this. And none of this would have been possible without him, to be honest. Obviously, God has placed the stepping stones, but none of this would have been possible without him. And it's just the fact I'm here and I'm able to go out and spend money every day on going out to eat. And not in like an egotistical way. It's just I don't have to worry about it at all. Like in my head, I'm not worrying about it. And sure, I have expenses still. But like the point where I am now and the point I was 6 months ago, that time span tells you everything you need to know. And everything that, in your life that is going wrong, all you have to do is think, okay, where do I want to be 6 months down the line? This is where I would have wanted to be. Okay. On holiday, actually enjoying myself, still working, right? I'm still working every day. But at the end of the day, I knew it was going to improve. When I recorded that Snapchat video on December the 31st, and I was extremely depressed about my ex. I was, lowest in my health, no money in my bank account. I knew obviously the only way was up. But to actually see it into reality now is still a little bit monumental. It's something I don't really think about as much as I should, I think. But the reason I have mixed feelings about all of this is I have hit 5k in a month, but I want to hit 10 next month, and I want to hit 20 the month after. And there's this never-ending cycle of, will you ever be happy enough? But I think I've sort of found a balance to that already. And sure, I mean, my life can get obviously a lot busier in the next month as well. I might be working more than I ever have. But at the end of the day, a lot of people in online money, obviously I think they idealize the grind and the actual trenches more than they do the end goal or, their life right now. And I'm still trying to find a balance. I'm still trying to find the balance between going out and enjoying myself with my friends, actually trying to find the path I want to follow in online money. But in terms of trajectories, I'm not where I want to be still, right? But the thing is, I don't know if I ever will be. I'm not sure, like, what monetary goal I can achieve for me to fully feel like, I have enough. But I don't think I need to think about that, because if I'm just taking it day by day and trying to progress to the best of my abilities, that's all I can do, and that's all anyone can do. Because if I set that 100k month in my mind, yeah, I'm going to work towards it. But at the end of the day, when I hit it, it's just a sense of dopamine, if you think about it. So I just want to see how far this goes. I have no end goal in sight in terms of money. I have an end goal in terms of fulfillment, in terms of actual personal fulfillment for me in life. I know what I want to do with this money. In terms of actual financial goal, though, just see where I go. We'll just see where it takes me. Sky's the limit. But yeah, big milestone today, I think. Big milestone. And obviously I have so much more to still achieve, and I'm sure I do. Like, there's no doubt in my mind I will achieve it. I just don't know, like, how far, as I said, I am going to go. And obviously I'm at a dilemma right now where my friends are telling me to defer for next year. Because obviously there's 4 years in Scotland, and, you know, I'm at my happiest right now that I've been in a long time. Like, really happy. And I know this is a really serious video, but I actually am, like, feeling extremely grateful, extremely happy. And I don't know, the thought of going back to uni and trying to balance this, you know, with my studies, while I could just be doing this every month of the year in somewhere around the world, is something that is on my mind constantly. But then again, I'm not in uni for, like, I'm in uni for the social connections, but I'm also there to, you know, to try go into journalism eventually. And then I've also got to think about, do I even need uni for that? So there's a lot to think about still, and that does play on my mind quite a lot. And it's the fact of I need to balance that. You know, I still have expenses coming in. I just spent I just obviously rented a house in St Andrews for the year, and I think I just paid 900 or something. It's 900 rent a month, which is quite a lot, to be honest. But hey, that's another issue for another day. The point of this video is, from this day to day, from 6 months ago, yeah, it's been a big gap for sure. People have achieved a lot more in a lot less time. But for me, this is a really big moment. And yeah, I'm just very, very grateful for where I am. As you can see from the view, I come out here every morning. I'm very grateful I'm living here. My actual room and the actual flat itself is a dump. But this is fine. We just go down to see, swim, forget about what the actual flat looks like. Yeah, I need to clean up probably. But this is your sign to just start. If you're feeling at your lowest point, if you're feeling at rock bottom, just start. Because, yeah, you're not going to see, you know, that progress, you know, on that trajectory that's linear. It's going to be up and down. And for me, it was. It was definitely up and down. There were moments where I was feeling, even when I was working with Val, like, is this for me? Do I have a clear path to follow? In a way, it was handed to me. And I got extremely, I wouldn't say lucky, because, you know, luck is essentially when opportunity meets hard work. I can't remember who said that quote, but I definitely feel like the work I was putting in over this couple of months was finally rewarded with that opportunity, you know, that gift that, you know, Val gave me to actually pursue in terms of online money. But yeah, I mean, just start. That's all you need to do. If you're feeling rock bottom, just start, and let this be a lesson that, you know, I had 1p in my bank account. I was trying to gamble to have food, essentially, because I was too embarrassed to ask my parents for money, you know, who were already in a hard financial position themselves. And it's the fact that now I know that I need to make the money for my sister to live the life she wants as well, to actually go to that university, right? Because this is a bit personal, but this is my personal channel, so I don't really care. And at the end of the day, not a lot of people watch this, but my parents aren't in a financial position where they can afford for both of us to go to university, even with the minimum student loan. So it is either I go and I succeed, obviously in university, and, you know, my sister tries to follow a different path. But I don't want that. I feel like I've been given everything in terms of education, in terms of, you know, the opportunities. Even though I've taken them for myself, right, I'm still very, very grateful and lucky. So the fact that she maybe can't have the same, you know, life that she wants because of financial reasons is something that extremely bugs me. And now I'm in a position where I'm putting money aside every month for her to go to university, where I feel like, okay, you know what, this is what's going to fulfill me. The fact that I spend, you know, I can afford to take my dad out for dinner for his birthday. The fact I can spend, you know, I don't know, 400, 500 on my mum to go to a sauna for her birthday. This is the stuff that's fulfilling me, and the stuff that, you know, 6 months ago I wouldn't even have dreamed of. So yeah, in terms of that, I'm extremely happy and I'm extremely grateful to God. But yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next video. And it's probably going to be a vlog, to be honest, about my journey here. I've been recording the whole week. Today we're going on a hike. We're probably going to go for a little swim before that. But yeah, see you guys in a bit.